Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Ganganapate Namaha Sarva Mangala Mangale Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Reva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Shri Swami Narayanaय Namaha Shri Lakshmi Narayanaय Namaha Om Shri Nar Narayanaय Namaha Om Shri Badri Narayanaय Namaha Om Shri Krishna Narayanaय Namaha Om Shri Rama Narayanaय Namaha Om Shri Satya Narayanaय Namaha Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Om Namah Shivaya Shri Hanumate Namaha Om. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 27th of January 2023. We are continuing our exploration of Swapna Avastha, the dream state. Before we move ahead in that subject further, we would like to offer our prostrations to all the great sages and enlightened beings in the past, present, and the future who have graced this planet, and to the Supreme Parabrahma Paramatma existing in all situations at all times in the heart of each being. With that pratana, with that bhav, we're continuing our exploration of Vivek Chudamani. In Vivek Chudamani, there is this whole concept of recognizing what is the karya of Maya. Maya karya. It is the expression of Maya. And one of the biggest expressions of Maya in our life is the dream state, Swapna Avastha. Right? So in that Swapna Avastha, as we have been continuing, what is our goal? Just as a quick reminder, our goal is to have good quality sleep, restful sleep, not have imbalances within the body, not have digestive problems or any other kind of physiological problem, so that the quality of the sleep is very good. The amount of dreaming reduces substantially. Too much dreaming is not necessary. It is actually the result of chaos inside the mind. So the dreaming reduces, but the dreams that do come are divine dreams. It's a divya experience, divine experience that is coming at nighttime in the Swapna Avastha. That is the best indicator of very nice level spiritual progression happening. Now, many people in the world suffer from all kinds of sleep-related problems. One of the big problems is insomnia. Insomnia is what is described as the inability to fall asleep or to remain asleep. Now, people with insomnia awaken not feeling rested. Why does this happen? So many reasons are there, but one of the biggest reasons is that there is too much burden carried. Worries, fears, tensions. These things can be dropped. How do we drop them? There is a direct way to drop it, and then there's a much longer way. I'll show you both what they are. The direct way to drop all of the tensions completely is to meditate on the fact that this entire sansar, this entire worldly existence, including ourselves and the body and all, it is only a bubble. That's it. There is no other reality to it. So the whole thing falls away. There's no worry, no tension about anything at that point. Because when you realize that there's nothing, nobody belongs to anybody, nothing comes with us, nothing is ours, this body is also not ours, with that meditative realization, all the tension falls away. Completely. Hold on. Okay, yeah, just a little bit of this thing went down the wrong way there. So this is a direct way to remove 100% of tension. It doesn't mean you're not doing your duties. It doesn't mean you're not doing your work. You're doing everything. We're doing everything that anybody else might be doing. But the difference fundamentally is that there is zero tension. zero worry, zero fear, zero carryover of any problem of any kind. Somebody might say, how that's possible? Well, there's a direct way and then there's a long way. The direct way is this, is to meditate and to meditate in a way that everything is gone. Nothing is there actually, except God. It's there, but it's not there. In the time of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, there was a householder devotee, Shivlal Sheth was his name. And the way he will do the dhyan in the morning, he'll sit for puja, and he will burn away the sansar from his mind. Everything is gone, burnt, and he's sitting on the ashes. Everything, everybody, everything is gone. And I'm sitting on the only Bhagwan is real. Nothing else. That is a direct way. Can we do that? Yes. Do we want to do that? No. Most people don't want to do that. They're afraid to do that. They don't know how to do it. If they start to do it, they'll get afraid. They'll say, my God, how can I think like this? But that requires, that is a direct way. It's a straight way out of all these problems of Maya, completely. One step way out. Now, if you cannot do that, then we have to take the longer path. Now, what is the longer path? Longer path is where one does different kinds of meditations and breathing practices and other things like that, and bhajan and kirtan and all that. That's all good, that we are doing anyway. But that is a much longer path, just still living in the sansar with attachments and all that, and trying to improve a little bit at a time. This can take, like the Gita says, bahunam janmanam ante. You can take that approach. It's up to us. And then the third thing is not to take any approach and to remain trapped in the sansar. That's all. So there's three possibilities. If you want a direct realization, burn it all away. Hari Om, Swaha. Kuch nahi hai, koi kisi ka nahi hai. But we're still living with everybody, doing everything. But inside, there's no holding of any fear. There's no tension, no fear, no agitation. Because there is Jnana and Vairagya completely present. What is that? That state of living is a totally free life. Is it difficult to achieve? No, it's not difficult at all. It's actually very straightforward. The only thing is we have not put our mind in that direction at all. It is a one-step realization. There's no other step actually. When Jnana and Vairagya, the only thing that remains is bhakti, that's all. Nothing else is there. So all family members are within God. All people are within God. All boundaries fall away. There's no boundary with anybody. This is Brahma Vidya. It's a one-step realization. The first step is the last step. But if that cannot be done, then the longer paths are there. Hundreds of lifetimes will still come about, potentially. Even after the end of all of those lifetimes, still this step has to be taken. Whether you take that step now, or you take it 10 years from now, or 100 lifetimes from now, or 1,000,000 lifetimes from now. It just depends on how badly one wants realization, how strongly one wants realization. If one doesn't want realization completely, but wants to play around with the people and the objects and all the activity of this world, mistaking it for real, mistaking it for something that is permanent, then that will continue. The body will go one day and then rebirth will occur, right? So the difficulties of the swapna avastha, like insomnia and all these things would naturally disappear unless there's some kind of brain damage or some other serious problem of that kind. Other than that, imagine what it's like. There's no tension, no fear, no worry, no headaches, no conflicts. Do we want that? I think if I was to ask 1,000 people that question, they'll say, yes, Sachin, we want that. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you how. You ready for that? You sit for this kind of meditation. You can do it in the church. You can do it in the mosque. You can do it in the synagogue. You can do it in any Hindu temple. You can do it at your house. You can do it in your car. You can do it in the park. You can do it anywhere you want. Sit with your eyes closed. Put on a small tilak if you believe in that. If not, just put some holy water on your forehead, whatever your tradition is, and let everything burn away. Hari Om Swaha. Om Aim Rim Glim Chamundai Viche Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. What does it mean? What does Swaha mean? Swaha means we are offering to the Lord everything that we are. We're offering to the Lord the material existence and what is coming out of that divine light. Is it possible to do such a thing? Sure. Try it and see. Sit with the Ishta Devata. Sit for dhyan. Take a mala. Start doing the mantra. And internally, let everybody go. Because everybody's going to go. Nobody's going to come with us anyway. We're also going to go. This body is just a cover. It's going to go also. Every second, millions of people are leaving this world. And because of that fact, when we meditate on that fact, that is called Nitya Pralay, when we meditate on that, tension should completely disappear. Why should there be any tension? Worry, tension, fear. What is left is duty, karma yoga, prem, the right actions to be done without any tension of any kind. That is the blessing that comes from the one-step realization. There's no other step, whether we take this now or a million lifetimes from now. This has to be done. And if it is not done, then the attachments continue. Ante yamati sagati, and all the mess, the whole cycle of rebirth continues. That is Maya Karya. So Swapna Avastha is our direct indication how far we are. The more sadhana we do, the more bhakti. Yeah, we do all those things. But if we do them with Jnana and Vairagya, it's extraordinary. For example, I remember a saint in one of his lectures, he was describing that when he came out of a train, maybe it was in Bombay or Mumbai or some other place like that, thousands of people are just there. So he was just seeing, he described it this way, he says, they're just bubbles. Each person is a bubble, coming and going, and each with his own karma, package of karma and vasanas and desires and running blindly in the sansar. That's all it is. Not having any understanding of what they're doing, where they're going, just running after vasanas, and that's it. And constantly living in fear, creating more attachments than not having the time, money, effort, energy to fulfill all of those things that are created. That is why there's so much poverty and there's so much problem with overpopulation. People are having so many kids and all, they can't take care of themselves. They're having so many children. It is a disastrous mess, this entire sansar. And everybody is trapped inside there. The key is, but as Bhagavan Krishna says, don't disturb those people in the sansar. They are all trapped inside there. Yanisha sarva bhutanam. Leave them alone. Because if you start disturbing them, they'll start disturbing you. And they'll stop the progression towards moksha. The people who are sansari, who are entrapped in the sansar, their number one goal is to make sure nobody else comes out of the prison also. They don't want that to happen. If they find out somebody's trying to come out of that, all kinds of things come about, try to prevent that from happening. That's a fact. Not to mention other forces. That's why Bhagwan ka drad ashray, Guru Seva, Akhand Satsang, or Himmat honi chahiye isme. That I want to realize, Bhagwan, let happen whatever is going to happen to this world. Don't worry about this world. The world is not something to be worried about. It's here one day, gone the next. Do the seva, do our part with karma yoga, not with attachments. Otherwise, J. Krishnamurti in the Commentaries of Living has talked about the three pious egoists. Very powerful idea. Sometimes we think we're doing so many good things, but we're doing it because the ego is getting satisfied in that. That is called sattvic ahankar and rajasic ahankar. All kinds of ahankar is there. That is not spirituality. Do good for others. Sarva bhuta hite rata. Yes, without any attachment, without any entanglement, and with a sense that this is serving Parabrahma Paramatma in the form of the sansar, through the sansar, but the sansar is ultimately unreal. It doesn't have actual reality. That's the whole point. The Jagrat Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Shushupti Avastha. The word Avastha means it's a state of experience only. So are we living in the world in the best possible way? Yes. Living with this kind of pralay. It's called Gnan Pralay, by the way, in Vachanamrut. Sachin is not making these things up, by the way. If somebody would say, Sachin, why are you saying all this thing? I didn't wake up in the morning and had a dream that I'll start talking. It's not like it's not that kind of thing. ये सब महान पुरुषों की सब वाणी है और उनका अनुभव हम just sharing with others. That's all. It's not a small. इसको ज्ञान प्रलय कहते हैं in वचनामृत में. And there's other scriptures also. Gnan pralay means what? You're living in the sansar as if the sansar is not there. It's there, but it's not there. It's there, but there's no disturbance of energy. There's only love. Purana prem. And with Gnan is a support for love. It is a protector. It is a protector of love. Now, if I was to ask 1,000 people, do you want pure love? Do you want to express pure love and get pure love? They will say yes. Very easy. What's so hard about that? Do this meditation, burn all of the attachments away. There's, in the sense that everything is just a bubble. Don't hold that any significance to that. When we don't give it significance, it's a lila. When we give it significance, it is binding karma. Remember we talked about that before. The binding karma is we give so much internal significance. But when we don't give any significance to the sansar, then we're playing in the sansar. That is called Chit Shakti Vilas. Baba Muktanand ka pustak. I can show you so many books, so many references behind every statement that we're making here. Sachin is not pulling these things up as out of fantasy. There's a lot of background behind this. So the point here is that we are trying to realize that we are the Atma Tattva. We are the Brahma Tattva. We are a divinity. We consider ourselves as a very small person with our fears and problems and the difficulties at nighttime and insomnias and parasomnias and all these things, But when we awaken, this is why when we do Nitya Puja, Nitya Satsang, you sit for dhyan. And in that dhyan, stabilize the breath and make a pralay of the whole thing. That is called Gnan Pralay. And you're sitting on the ashes of infinite universes. Has anybody ever thought about doing that? Think about that. You're sitting on the ashes of infinite universes. Not just this world, not just this galaxy. It is all going to turn to ash. It is all going to turn, it is not going to be there. In fact, the modern physics, modern science says galaxies are born and galaxies die. Galaxies are born and they die. Galaxy clusters are born and they die. Planets come and go. Millions of beings come and go. Everything in Prakriti comes and goes. And when we see that, we are able to appreciate the glory of Prakriti. Simultaneously, not get stuck in impermanence. Appreciate it, enjoy it, be with it, love it, no problem. But never is there an engulfment in the ignorance that this world and this sansar and everything is of any real consequence. It doesn't have any consequence. The reason it has been created so the Jivatma can get experience in Prakriti and can get out of Prakriti. That's why. For example, if you take a school, like a high school, why does a high school exist? So the school students can go there, so eventually they can get out of there. They're not to stay in the 9th grade, 10th grade for 15 years, 20 years. They pass the 4 years and it's done. And that's the point. So